What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the Sunday World, the newspaper, is reporting that Philippe Coutinho has reportedly made a personal plea to Jurgen Klopp himself in the hopes of engineering a move to his former club, Liverpool FC. So let me know guys, do you think Coutinho could still do it in the Premier League? Do you want him on loan or on a permanent transfer? Do you want him on a 1 or on a 2-year loan? Coutinho would be a fantastic signing for Liverpool, and even for just 1 year I want him back at Liverpool to hopefully help Liverpool win the second Premier League title in a row next season. And also, according to the reports, Coutinho is willing to take a pay cut to actually go to Liverpool. That's how much he wants to return to Liverpool Football Club, his past glories, where he played for like 5 years, scoring 54 goals in 201 appearances. And also, let me know guys, where are you watching from, and leave a like on this video if you enjoy these transfer news updates. And in this video we will have Roberto Firmino liking actually one of the transfer stories linking Coutinho back to Liverpool, and I will talk more about that later. And also Jordan Henderson himself commented on the Coutinho transfer, so lots of new information packed in this video for you guys. And I think it's pretty clear that Coutinho regrets going to Barcelona, because since then Liverpool are going to be Premier League champions very soon. We also went to back-to-back Champions League finals. We won the Champions League as well as the European Super Cup, Club World Cup. And on the other hand, Coutinho's career has been all downhill. And according to Kevin Palmer and the Sunday World newspaper, Coutinho hatches a plan to secure a return to Liverpool by making a personal plea to Jurgen Klopp to sign him back to Liverpool. And I think it would be a fantastic transfer, but I think Coutinho would need to play a little bit of a different role than he used to play in Liverpool's team, because Liverpool play a different playing style right now than what they were playing when Coutinho actually still last played for Liverpool. So now it looks like the ball is bouncing in Jurgen Klopp's court, because Coutinho wants to return to Liverpool. He wants to play for the Reds. Chelsea and Arsenal have previously been linked with a move for Coutinho, but more and more reports are coming out left, right and center that Coutinho is really only wants Liverpool, and once Jurgen Klopp says no to him, that's when maybe he will explore other options. And according to some reports, an Anfield insider told the newspaper that Jurgen Klopp has recently spoken to Coutinho, and Coutinho made very clear to Jurgen Klopp that he would be willing to make sacrifices, like taking a pay cut to actually return to Liverpool and play for Liverpool again, because Coutinho is absolutely desperate to return to the place of his former glory. Because, I mean, Liverpool, I think one of the key transfers to this Liverpool's dominance was the Coutinho transfer. We got an incredible 140 million for Coutinho, and without that money I don't think we are signing Van Dijk, Alisson, Naby Keita and other great players that made Liverpool so much better. But especially the Van Dijk and Alisson transfers, those transfers were funded by the Coutinho transfer, or in part of the Coutinho transfer, and that's why Liverpool are in such a healthy financial position. I think the only difficulty is how can Liverpool finance this deal, and I think that's why the loan move makes the perfect sense, because Coutinho is 28 years old, he's not getting any younger. Why would Liverpool spend 50-60 million pounds on a 28-year-old Coutinho when we couldn't spend that amount on a 23-24-year-old Timo Werner? I think it makes sense to loan Coutinho in for just 5 to 10 million pounds in terms of the loan fee, and another maybe 6-7 million in terms of his whole wage packet for the whole season. And I mean, yes, we have Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, other players, but Coutinho offers something different. He has that magical creative spark. No wonder many Liverpool fans, including myself, called Coutinho the magician when he was at Liverpool, because sometimes what he could do on the football pitch like that creative, magical thinking. Not that many players in the Premier League, not that many players in Liverpool's team have that creative spark that Coutinho has. Naby Keita, I think, has it. Oxlade-Chamberlain has it sometimes, but the other Liverpool midfielders, I don't think have that magical creativity that Coutinho has. And also, Roberto Firmino has liked a post on Instagram linking Coutinho back to Liverpool and saying that Liverpool want to sign Coutinho back, want to take him back. So that's pretty indicative that Firmino would love to see Coutinho back at Anfield, which I think that he's a fellow Brazilian, so you can't blame him. And I'm sure that Fabinho, Alisson, Firmino and Coutinho would make a great Brazilian quartet. And Coutinho loved to live in Liverpool. He loved his time there. Even his wife and his children loved living in Liverpool. So I don't think they would mind coming back to the city to live here. And I'm sure that Coutinho would love to see Liverpool return in his career right now. And Barcelona are so desperate to get Coutinho off the wage bill that they are willing to accept just 45 million pounds for him. And this has alerted a number of clubs. Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle and of course Liverpool have been alerted. But according to reports, Coutinho has only his eyes on Liverpool. And Steve Nicol, the former Liverpool defender who is now a pundit, said this: Coutinho are more than welcome to return to Liverpool. Absolutely, why wouldn't you want him back? I can't think of one reason why you wouldn't want Coutinho back at Liverpool. The only place he excelled at in his career is Liverpool. The place loves him, he loves the place. Can you imagine adding Coutinho to a squad that right now are still champions of Europe and they are going to win the Premier League title? You are going to add a player with the ability of Coutinho, who is going to come in and be in the same situation as a Timo Werner, for example, where he's there to fight to get into the starting 11. If it's a cut price deal, yeah, it makes sense. Listen, this guy's making over 13 million pounds clear a year. He's going to have to take a hit. Otherwise, no club are willing to sign him. The price to buy him is going to have to take a hit. But if the money is right, it's an absolute no-brainer. This would be a fantastic signing for Liverpool, and I fully agree with Steve Nicol. We just have to make it work. We have to somehow structure the deal to make it work financially for Liverpool. And the post that Roberto Firmino liked on Instagram said this: Philippe Coutinho has made a personal plea to Jurgen Klopp in a bid to engineer his return to Anfield, even if it means taking a pay cut to seal his return to Anfield. And that's the exact post that Firmino liked on Instagram. And I'm loving it. And Jordan Henderson recently gave an interview where he spoke about Coutinho. This is what he said: Coutinho is so good as a player. Technically, again, he just loved playing football. He wanted to be out there enjoying playing football. Such a top player and a great lad as well. And Coutinho is always welcome. He would always be welcome at Liverpool. That's exactly what Jordan Henderson said earlier this year when he also praised Coutinho. Phil is a good friend of mine. I think he's an exceptional footballer. He has everything. He has a great attitude. He loves football. So of course for me he would always be welcome back. But it is not up to me that transfer. It is probably best to ask the manager that, whether Coutinho will come back to Liverpool or not. The boys loved him, so if you ask any of them, I'm sure they will say they would love to have him back. But I think his time here has passed, he has moved on, and I hope that in the near future we will see the same Phil we saw here, which means that Coutinho in top form. But I think probably the only place where he can rekindle his magic is at Liverpool, in my opinion. The loan deal, I think, is the most likely scenario, because the loan deal would carry relatively little risk for Liverpool and give Liverpool a real injection of proven quality to cover several positions next season without breaking the bank, without Liverpool needing to take a massive financial risk, financial burden on, which Jurgen Klopp clearly said that the owners are not willing to do. And after Coutinho departed Liverpool, yes, they lost a hugely gifted player who could do brilliant things, but Liverpool evolved into a much more efficient, better balanced outfit without him. Not maybe quite as explosive going forward, but much tighter defensively, more capable of controlling matches from start to finish. This is partly true, but it's not necessarily the case that Liverpool became a better team, simply because Coutinho left. Something which rarely gets discussed is the fact that we never got to see Coutinho and Van Dijk in the same side, and we can't say for sure that Liverpool wouldn't have achieved similar success had Coutinho stayed on. But what can be said for certain is that if Coutinho were to return, his status would be significantly different to what it used to be, because he was regarded to be on a similar level to Sadio Mane, for instance. He would now be behind him in the pecking order, a useful rotation option who could fill in on the left-hand side to keep Mane fresh, but definitely not a starter in the front three. As for the midfield, Coutinho would also be far from guaranteed a regular starting spot given the wealth of options already available and the fact Jurgen Klopp demands a certain level of defensive contribution from all his midfielders, which has never truly been a natural strength of Coutinho's game. That's not to say that his creativity and goal threat, both from set pieces, from long range and from open play, couldn't be valuable against certain types of opponents. Liverpool's midfield has a very specific way of working to support the front three and the bombing on fullbacks. Coutinho would have to adapt and buy into that, not the other way around. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita are already two clear attacking midfielders for Jurgen Klopp to call upon, who know the system and they fit the system very well. But that's without considering Takumi Minamino, who also scored recently in the friendly against Blackburn. Coutinho would definitely strengthen Liverpool, there's no denying that. And Coutinho would have a real point to prove, not just to Liverpool, but to the whole world, that he still has it. Lallana is very nearly over, his career at Liverpool is very nearly over. Shaqiri is probably leaving Liverpool as well. You could argue that maybe Wilson, other Liverpool midfielders will leave as well, maybe Divock Origi. So Liverpool need more options, and Coutinho would definitely have 20-25 starts in all competitions next season with another 15 substitute appearances, and I would fancy Coutinho to get maybe another 10 goals to his Liverpool tally in those 40 games that he plays. The big counter argument to all of this is that Coutinho actually handed in a transfer request, and maybe Jurgen Klopp doesn't want him back to disrupt the harmony and the tight-knit group that is the Liverpool dressing room, and maybe he feels that Coutinho would disrupt that, even though Jordan Henderson himself said that all the Liverpool players still love Coutinho and they would welcome him back with open arms. I'm not sure if that's the case with Jurgen Klopp as well. But there is no way knowing what Jurgen Klopp thinks about Coutinho right now. What is certain is that this will be Liverpool's and Jurgen Klopp's decision. If Liverpool want to sign Coutinho on loan, if Jurgen Klopp sanctions the deal, I'm sure that Liverpool can make it work financially. A loan deal is not a big risk financially, and Coutinho is willing to take a pay cut, so I think Liverpool should do it. But I think the financial circumstances and also Jurgen Klopp and whether he's willing to work with Coutinho again, those two will dictate whether Liverpool go for Coutinho or not. And Alisson could be the first goalkeeper since Joe Hart to claim consecutive Golden Glove awards, which is the Golden Glove award is the goalkeeper who gets the most clean sheets in a season. Alisson is on 10 clean sheets alongside Dean Henderson, Kasper Schmeichel, and also Nick Pope of Burnley, interestingly, has 11 clean sheets in the Premier League. So Alisson needs to get 2 more clean sheets than Nick Pope for the rest of the season. But I fancy Liverpool doing that, especially because we are in the final stretch of winning the Premier League title, which is going to be so exciting for all the Liverpool fans. And guys, we just need to wait 2 more days to witness finally Premier League football again. And it starts with Aston Villa, Sheffield United, and Manchester City, Arsenal. Two really big games. And of course on Sunday, the big Merseyside derby, Everton, Liverpool. And I actually looked up, and Liverpool haven't conceded a goal away to Everton in 3 games in a row, which is an incredible statistic. But of course now I probably jinxed it, and Everton will score against Liverpool. And if Man City lose to Arsenal, Liverpool could win their first Premier League title, their first league title in 30 years, against their bitter City rivals Everton at Goodison Park. But make no mistake, Everton, and especially Everton fans, want nothing more than that not to happen, because they would forever be reminded of that by Liverpool fans. I can tell you that Liverpool fans will never let Everton as a football club and a fan base forget that Liverpool won the title at Goodison Park. So I really think that this will be a feisty encounter. And even if Man City beat Arsenal, which is the most likely scenario because Man City are well rested and Arsenal are just not on the same level. Arsenal are usually the whipping boys of Manchester City, or that has been the case in the past 2 or 3 seasons. So I don't expect Arsenal to actually go to the Etihad and beat Man City there. But who knows, you know, this whole stopping of the Premier League has thrown the form book out of the window, and nobody really knows which shape each team is in. So I'm really interested and excited to find that out. And of course, on Friday it will be a Manchester United Tottenham game as well. That will be a cracker. So really big games to start off the Premier League restart or resumption. Really looking forward to that as well, and I will be able to cover it for you guys on this channel. So I will be reporting on the games as they happen. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool transfer news video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.